Greetings, guys, once more. We are starting with our session officially. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to list out all the things that we're going to be discussing throughout the rest of the meeting. And yeah, I think we should all be on the same page. So the topics that I'll be covering, it's basically topics and pre-points or subcategories, let me rather put it that way. We are going to be discussing fundamental analysis for beginners and experts. There is never really a time where you can say you've learned enough. You never stop learning. I'll be talking about events. What are events? What is a report? Economic calendar. What does a report consist of? Big breaking down all those things. From there, I'll be talking about the previous. Let me just share my whiteboard actually. Okay. I'm trying to share my whiteboard here, but it's not make sure. Okay, but let me do this. I'm trying to make the settings so that it doesn't disturb us. Disable. I'm trying to set up this thing. You can see witches are already starting writing nonsense on the screen, but it's fine. Black people, they're like that. Where do I stop them, guys? Okay. I think I've managed. Yeah, I think I've managed to stop the switches. Okay, where's the eraser? Okay, yeah. I think my white screen is clean now. All right. So, as I was talking about the topics that we'll be discussing throughout the meeting, I'll be talking about the cons prediction. I'll be talking about the actual. I'll be talking about the meanings of red and green colors. Most of you guys trade NFP, but you don't even understand what is it that you're trading exactly. Also, CPI is one of the things that you guys are trading, yet still you don't really understand much about it. I'll write down all the important topics. Keep in mind that if you are zoom in, zoom out, the same way you're doing so on pictures, and you should be able to see everything properly. I'll be talking about the types of reports that we have. I'll be talking about the case events. I'll be talking about the percentages events and the powers between the two. I'll be talking about species. I'll be talking about the EMS events. Mostly they're under USD, crude oil. I'll be talking about standard or normal events, just the types of events that we're going to be dealing with. And I'll be discussing event movements, the type of events that we have, the type of events that we can trade, and how far they can move, because it's also important to understand whether an event is worth your time or not, right? And you get to see that in terms of how far does the event move, right? And that's one of the things that we'll be discussing. And then from there, interest rates will be some of the topics we'll be discussing. CPI will be one of those, PPI as well, NFP, GDP, employment change, mostly under AUD and NZD. And also CAD has some. And then we're going to be discussing underrated events. Underrated events, it's events which are not famous, yet still they're much better than the ones which are famous. You guys are going to learn about that. And we'll be discussing South African interest rate, ZAR interest rate for the first time. I was telling BK Online Services students that we are going to be starting to trade the South African interest rate and South African events by nature, because our country is fucked up. Let's be realistic. And instead of crying about it, right now as we speak, I got load shedding from like 10 p.m. up until 2 a.m. You know, imagine if I was a student and I didn't have inverter installed at the house. So you see, so imagine someone who has to study, they're going to write tomorrow, they don't have electricity for more than 4 hours, such things. So we as traders are going to take advantage of such situations. We are going to be discussing JPY interest rate, underrated. We're going to be discussing CNY as well as CHF. And we are going to be discussing the pairs that you're going to be trading on events as well. And we'll be listing all the standard pairs. Some of you guys don't know which pair to trade during a specific event. I'm going to make you understand the difference between these pairs and how to know which pair to choose during an event. And I'll be listing all the overrated pairs, and I'll be listing all the underrated pairs, and I'll be speaking about how much you can make, different examples based on the number of pips or points per event and event type. And I'll be speaking about spread as well as spread during news. I'll be speaking about how to calculate your lot size, especially during news. I'll be speaking about margin requirements. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it when you're trying to open a trade. It says not enough money. You don't even understand how that happens. And in some instances, some it says off quotes. In some instances, some you set pending orders. When the market reaches that price, then the order disappears. It's not counting with profit or loss. Sometimes your order gets in and it gets kicked out automatically without your account blowing, and you don't know how and why. You know, it's all margin related. I'll be discussing that, and also lot size calculations as well, which is part of what I've mentioned about lot sizes earlier. Orders deleted of quotes, slippage. We'll be discussing slippage as well. Some of you guys don't even understand how slippage occurs, and we'll be touching a bit about what is a liquidity provider, and you will understand where the money that you're withdrawing, where the money that you're depositing is going to exactly, who is a liquidity provider and what is a liquidity provider. I'll be doing another session because now I want to see most of my Black people well equipped with this knowledge, right? These things have been hidden away from us. I'll be doing another mentoring session another time in terms of how to start your own brokerage firm. And mostly I'll be making you understand what needs to be done when you want to have your own brokerage firm. It's important that you know all the factors, how much is needed and whatnot. And basically I'll be discussing rejection and what causes it. So those are the things that we'll be discussing throughout the session. So now I'm going to start with the first one, which is fundamental analysis for beginners and the experts, which is basically the overall topic. Everything that I've mentioned falls under understanding fundamental analysis, right? We are firstly going to start with what is fundamental, you know. And let me tell you something with trading. Fundamental. Yeah. I hope the spelling is correct. So let me rather say what is fundamentals. Yeah. What is fundamentals? So understanding overall what is fundamentals, basically, as I've stated earlier, that there is nothing technical that moves the market. So in short, I'm going to make it as simple as possible without having to Google anything. Fundamental is the future of trading. That's it. If you don't know fundamentals, you don't know your future. Fundamentals is everything that you're doing daily, literally. When you're getting a job today, it's part of fundamentals. When you're getting fired from your job today, it's part of your fundamentals, right? NFP, manufacturing PMIs, all those things, it's real things which are happening. NFP, it's non-farms payroll. It's a job report in a certain sector of America, which is USD. So when people get hired, it affects the report. When people get fired, it affects the report. So it's within our daily lives. When you are buying goods from, what is this online website? Shein. It's Shein, or what they call it, whatever, I don't know. You're buying goods from a country, from a company that is abroad. And when you're buying the product, it comes in South Africa as an import, right? The product that you've purchased, it comes in as an import. That also form part of an overall performance of the GDP, which is the gross domestic product, the entire economy. It's not specifically one product at a time, So everything that you do which involves the flow of money is fundamental, in short. And we as traders are trading that in short, in a nutshell, right? So there is what we call an economic calendar. An economic calendar, I will be opening an example right now of an economic calendar. So we make use of, let me just do this. Okay, yeah. So let me just do this. Screen. Okay. I want to open the calendar. Let me share the screen for the calendar. Are you able to see the screen? I hope you're able to see the screen for the calendar. Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, so this is what we call an economic calendar. So you find this normally on investing.com. That's the one that we use. So if you have a look at the economic calendar, from Wednesday, the 17th of May, you can see there are things happening. You look at the times, JPY 150. There's always something that happens, right? So this is the economic calendar that we are referring to. Basically, you can see what's going to happen tomorrow. You can see what's going to happen this week. You can see what's going to happen next week. I'll also show you another calendar which can show you what's going to happen for the entire year, basically. Right? It's going to show you what's going to happen for the entire year as well, So yeah, that's what we are going to be discussing. Now, each calendar, basically, actually, there's one economic calendar, but each currency pair has what we call an event. An event is something that is happening, a functionality, if I may put it in that manner. It's something that will be happening in that specific country that's going to affect that specific currency. I'm going to give an example. Right now, today at 0150, today at 0150 will be, let me just share the screen again. Today at 0150, the event that I've marked will be having a GDP capital expenditure Q1 under JPY. So this is an event which affects any pair that has JPY. I'm speaking about GBP JPY, GBP JPY, GBP JPY. I've started with it. USD JPY, Euro JPY if it exists, NZD JPY, any pair that has JPY, because JPY is never a base currency but rather a code. Any pair which has JPY, it's definitely going to be affected by this particular event, right? So an event is a report that comes out which affects that specific currency. That's what you need to know in simple terms. An event is basically that particular report. We call it an event. And now when we break it down and understand what is it that we are trading, then we call it an actual report, right? Now, what does a report consist of, right? A report consists of three things. Each and every report consists of three things. Number one, previous. Number two, forecast. Number three, actually it's four things, sorry. It's previous, number one. Number two, forecast. Number three, actual. Number four, importance, right? It's very important for you to understand all these experts, because they are going to help you understand what is it that you're trading much better, right? So previous, it's what happened the previous month. Literally, it's in the past. So most beginners get confused when you open an event like this. You see, I've opened an event, Japan Gross Domestic Product, Capital Expenditure Report, which is Q1. Most beginners get confused when they see the actual like this, what I've marked on my screen. Remember, you can zoom in, zoom out the same way you're doing so on pictures if you're unable to see what I've marked. So most beginners get to see this percentage, this number right here, and get to think that it's the actual number that is happening in real time. These guys can never show you an event that haven't came out. You can never see the outcome of this event before 0150 as it states on the economic calendar, right? So previous is what happened the previous month or the previous time the event occurred. Forecast is a prediction. The economists predict that the outcome should come out as this, right? When the event starts, right? Now, importance is denoted by 3 bars. There's 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. On investing.com app, it's bars, but on the website, it's stars. So when you see 1 star like this, it denotes the importance of the event. When it's 1 star, it means it's not important. When it's 2 stars or 2 bulls, it means it's medium, in between. And then when it's 3 bars or 3 bulls, it means that it's high priority, meaning that it's the most important event out of them all, right? That's literally what it means. Now, I hope now you understand. So what it means is when you have the previous, the forecast, and you're waiting for the actual. Let me open the report for this event, for example. Let us go to the history. Now, let us go back to the 14th of February, which was Valentine's Day, right? I'm trying to mark that specific day, but it marks everything. So let me just mark this portion. Shit. Let me, yeah. So 14 February, we had our previous as 1.5, which was for December. The economists predicted that it's going to be as negative 0.5%. And March, the previous was 1.5. And the economists, are you guys able to hear me? I think, oh my God, what happened? Guys, are we still together? Hello? Please confirm on the chat box if we are still together, because is the internet is not make sure at the stage. Ah, shit. Guys, are you able to hear me? Please confirm on the chat box if you are able to hear me. My network just disappointed us for a minute. Apologies for that. Apologies for that. I told you that I have load shedding this side, so I'm relying on the solar thing for internet connection. So it's gonna break from time to time. Apologies in advance for that. I apologize for that. Let me try to quickly connect on the other hotspot so that we can have less interruptions. Yeah, but as long as you are able to hear me properly, I can see the confirmation on the comment box that you are able to hear me properly. So I think I should be able to proceed. I don't even remember where I was, but I was speaking about the event which is going to be happening on JPY. So let me just share my screen back. How do I okay, yeah. So confirm if you're able to see what's happening on my screen. Confirm on the chat box if you're able to see what's happening on my screen so I can proceed. I apologize for the network issue. All right, perfect. Thank you. So as we're proceeding, March the 9th, previous 1.5 forecast negative 0.4. The outcome came out as negative 0.5% and 0.5%, and the actual is going to be coming out. Now, what does the color green and red denote, right? Guys, my internet is bad. I have a, are you able to hear me now? Okay, yeah, I think it's back now. I apologize for that. It's Eskom, guys. So yeah, the forecast. Now, what does the color red and green denote? Guys. Yo. No, I can see. I can see my internet is a bit bad. Yeah. I'm on load shedding. That is why I'm on load shedding. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, now you can hear me. I apologize again. So yeah. So the color green denotes buy. Now, if the event comes out as green at 0150 today, it means that any pair that involves JPY is gonna be a buy. But also understand that before you conclude that it's gonna be a buy, it's a buy specifically for JPY, meaning that in cases where JPY is a code currency and not a base currency, it means the opposite is gonna happen. Now, because now on USD JPY, USD is a base currency, JPY is a code currency, and JPY outcome is a buy, meaning that JPY is supposed to go up. Now, instead, it's gonna do the opposite because it's a code currency. I don't know if I'm making sense. But where else JPY was, maybe if the pair was JPY USD, then it was gonna be a straight buy. But because it's the other side, the other way around, then the opposite will happen. So that's what it means. Green simply means that it's a buy for JPY. Now, red means it's a sell for JPY. Now, black, an example of black would be what I've marked now. Black simply means that there are no changes. The actual relies more on cons or forecast. For cons and forecast is like prediction. The economists are predicting. So now the biggest question is, how do you now know when to trade these things? You never really know whether it's a buy or sell before the report comes out. But as a fundamentalist, I can also do that technically, meaning in the long term. I know that in the long term, because of this specific report, because of this specific event, I know that I'm going to buy or sell JPY because based on the outcome of the report, long term. Now, remember now, the nice thing about fundamentals is it reacts for a minute, but in the long run, it's also going to go in the favor of the event. But also, that's not going to happen to all the events. Depends on the nature of the event as well, right? It's not going to happen on all the events all the time. I hope you now understand what an event is and basically the notions in terms of red, black, colors and whatnot, right? Now, we are going to be moving to the types of reports, right? I'm trying to push as much as I can so that this session lasts us at least 40 minutes to an hour. So types of reports. So we have different types of reports. We have case events. Let me look for a K event on the list. Trying to scroll down to see if I can find a K event, just so that I can make an example, a proper example. Let me just select this week, actually. I think if I select this week, I should be able to find a K event. Yes, I found a K event. Let me just denote it. I'm going to mark it. Yeah, so what I've highlighted, I hope you're able to see it, is a K event, right? The GBP employment change, right? Now, how do you know that this is a K event? It's because it ends with K at the end, number one. Number two, what does the K denotes? What does the K stand for? What does the K see? 169,000. I mean, when we're 169K, it simply means 169,000. When you see 160K, it means 160,000. 182K, it means 182,000. That's a case event. I'll also denote the difference between the events, which ones are more powerful, so that you can know which ones to focus on when we speaking about the type of event, right? From there, what we also have what we call percentages event. Without going further, I'm just gonna find one is what. It's a pair. So percentages event, how do you know them? They have the percentages symbol at the end. 5.1%, 5.5%, 4.7%. That's a percentage event. It's as clean as that, right? And then also we have also the app just notified me that my network is a bit unstable. I apologize if there are any breakouts during the meeting. So another an example is of the type of events that we have. I've marked it is speeches. How do you see that speech and that this the internet. I think you lost me there for a moment. You lost me there for a moment. I apologize, guys. Unfortunately, it's South Africa. Don't say it's me. South Africa, the country that you guys are are living in. You know, I think you should be able to hear me now. Are you able to hear me now? You see, the sooner we trade forex and make money and move out of the South Africa, the better. Because even when you buy a solar inverter, you're still gonna experience network connections. Anyways, as I was speaking about speeches, it's another type of event. I've marked it. It's denoted by microphone at the end. This simply means it's a speech. Oh, Jesus. Guys. Yo. Jesus. The network is not make sure. So I'm able to see that I'm disconnected because I have another device that's able to tell me if you guys can hear me or not. I apologize again, but we are good. Every time when it comes, we're just gonna try to push as much as we can. So yeah, that's the speech event. And we're gonna move to another event time. We call it M's event. Let me scroll down and see if I can find an M event. Yes, I found it. I found it under ZA, South African Rents, Employment Changed. I've marked the event. So how do you know that this is an M's event? It's denoted by yo. Um, hi. It's not make sure. I can hear myself when I'm cutting, guys. I have another device that's able to tell me. So every time when I hear myself cutting, I pause so that you guys don't miss anything. We continue. The devil is trying to test us on my birthday. It's fine. We continue. So M's events are denoted by M, as I've marked the South African event. So now remember what I said. We are basically living and eating, doing fundamentals wherever and everywhere. An example would be the South African unemployment report. It basically takes out the number of people who are unemployed in the country. I'm just not sure in which sector, but yeah. So as I stated that the M at the end on this event, I'm not sure if it means millions or morons. Find that the M stands for morons because clearly we are morons. I mean, how on earth did we get to be like Zimbabwe? Not in a bad way, but how on earth are we able to get to the stage where we don't have electricity for an entire 12 hours a day and not say anything about it? It means that the M on this event type that we are going to be dealing with, it's standard events. Standard events, normally you'll find them under GBP. Let me look for something which has GBP. Normally you find them under GBP. Let me look for something. I don't know what these events denote. I'm not finding any. Oh yeah, a standard event is something like this. What I've marked under GBP, which is GFK consumer confidence. So how do you know that this is a standard event? It is not denoted by anything at the end. It is not denoted by anything at the end. That's how you know that this is a standard event. Now, I've mentioned a few types of events, right? And the network. So now I'm just going to type because the network is not make sure. So this is a list of event types in denotion to power. What I mean when I say in denotion to power is you need to understand this type of event in order to know which one to focus on the most, right? Number two, number one is percentages event. Number two, apologies when it's breaking. Just focus on what I'm typing on the screen. Number two, it's case events, also known as thousands. And I'm also going to explain how do you know that these ones are powerful. And I'll also give an example of the events that you're going to be trading that will make you understand that this event is powerful and this one is not. And number three, in terms of power, right? I'm also going to give examples of these types of events so that you can, understand. Right? So I'm going to start with percentages. Percentages, we are percentages. An example is unemployment rate under USD normally. NFP. You see, NFP consists of two events, non-farms payroll and unemployment rate. The percentage event that is called unemployment rate, that's the one that is more powerful, right? Another example, I'm just gonna give one example per event type. The case is non-farms payroll. Now, on NFP, guys, is not one event. Understand something. NFP is not one event. NFP, it's two events. It's non-farms payroll, and it's also the unemployment rate. Non-farms payroll is a case event, meaning that it's a thousands event. The unemployment rate is a percentage event, right? So between the two, which one is more powerful? The unemployment rate is more powerful than the case event. But I want you to understand something. The case event is the one that is most likely to react first. There's about 70% chance that the case event will react first. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example. Let me just see if I can't. How do I move this? Okay, select. Yeah. I'm going to give an example with NFP while we're still here, right? I want to draw. Okay, perfect. Now, let me just draw a line here that's going to divide everything. Yeah, so we have NFP, right? We have non-farms payroll, and we have unemployment rate, right? So we have the actual, we have the cons, we have the previous. Excuse my spelling, guys. You know I didn't go to school, right? So this is like the table. My drawing is not make sure, but it's fine. What's more important is the message, right? Now, the actual comes out as, actually, let me start with the previous. The previous says 330K. That is the previous, 330,000. Then the cons says 300K. The percentage event is 5.2%. The prediction is 5.3%. And we are all waiting for the actual, right? So what happens in, actually, guys, no. Here I wrote NFB. It's NFP. Because I know you guys, most of you guys, FBK students, are not normal. The next thing you'll be hearing a person coming to my WhatsApp saying that, hey guys, coach, where can I find NFB? You were speaking about NFB in the session. I know you guys are not normal. The next thing you guys will be saying, hey coach, I want to buy NFB signals because NFP is not good. So now I want to buy NFB. Yo, Jesus. Yes, being a mentor. Hi. Anyways, we're continuing. So now this is our table. We have NFP, which is non-farm payroll. The previous is at 330,000. The cons is at 300,000. What this means is if the actual comes out greater than the cons for the case event, it's a buy. If the actual comes out below, apologies, it has broken there. If the actual comes out above 300,000, it's a buy. If the actual comes out below 300,000, it's a sell, right? The actual of NFP comes out at 250K. That is the actual, right? The outcome of the event. Now, what this means, it means that immediately at 2:30 or 3:30 or whatever the time NFP is at, USD JPY or any pair that has USG denoted as a base currency is going to buy at that given moment. That's what it means. And it's also going to buy, depending on the changes, it's also going to buy for a period of about 45 minutes. An event has an effect of up to 45 minutes. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. Plus, an average is on 45 minutes, right? Meaning that even after the event, you can still continue buying any pair that involves USD, right? And the unemployment rate comes out as 5 point, where's the eraser? It comes out as 5.2%, right? Now, normally, on a normal event, when the actual is below the cons or prediction, it simply means that it's a sell when it's below. And then when it's above, it means that it's a buy. But for NFP and percentage events, it's slightly different. It's the opposite, actually. When the actual is below, then that's when it's actually a buy. And when the actual is above, that's when it's a sell. So in this case, because now the cons or the prediction is 5.3%, the actual is 5.2%, it means that it's a buy. Already, the report outcome does not match. What that means what that means, what's going to happen next now, what's going to happen next when the event outcome does not match, we should expect what we call a rejection. Now, for some of you guys who don't understand what causes a rejection, so it's very important. You see, sometimes, now I'm going through the most day, you get a person saying, coach, this nonsense of yours is not working, you know. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, you said this event will move and it's not moving, you know, such things. And I understand it's because you don't even understand what is it that you're trading. So today you're going to learn and understand what is it that you're trading. And after this session, people are saying I should repeat. Let me just repeat. I see on the chat box. So which part did you not hear, guys? So I can repeat. Which part did you not get properly? So I can repeat. So I would like to believe that our recording, the one that I'm gonna share with you guys, I believe that it will have less interruptions compared to the live one. The UR part. Okay, perfect. I got it. So let me just quickly repeat the part. Now, guys, it's very simple. NFP consists of two events. We have previous, which is what happened the previous month. We have cons, which is what's predicted to come out. And we have actual, which is the reality of what actually came out. Now, on the case events, anything that is above the cons is a buy. Anything that is above, below the cons is a sell. If it's above the cons, it's a buy. If it's below, it's a sell. So in our example, this is an example, guys. Guys, I repeat, yo, FBK students, you're going to kill me with stress. I repeat, this is an example, guys. I don't want people to be saying, coach, on the mentoring session, you said the previous is 330,000, but here it's not. And you said it's a sell, but it's not selling. Guys, this is an example. Isibonelo in Sizulu, in Shona, Kukuremba, in Chinese, Fing Fing Kong language. It's an example, please, guys. Now, on my example, it says that the actual came out as 250,000, meaning that it's below the cons. It's a sell. That's what it means. Now, the difference between 300,000 and 250 is 50,000. 50,000 is enough, right? Sharp. I'm going to also make you guys understand the difference in terms of how to know how long you should hold on to a trade for based on the report outcome. But remember that the opposite might happen. And I forgot the most important thing, guys. Disclaimer. I forgot the most important thing, disclaimer, so that people don't sue me. Here's my disclaimer. Guys, anything that I will be discussing or that I've already shared with you guys, understand that it's my personal experience. What you might go through as a person might slightly be different. Where I denote that you're going to make money, I'm simply referring to experiences where I've made money. It does not necessarily mean that you are going to make money because we are not on the same level, right? Now, some of you guys are being bewitched where you're from, right? Now I'm as clean as I am. Therefore, no matter how much you copy or try to be me, the outcome of the results might never be the same, or it will never be the same, right? I am not a professional financial advisor. Should you require a professional financial advisor, please seek for financial help from a professional or whoever. Now, I'm just an individual who is sharing information that I've learned on my personal experiences, both wins and losses, and I'm sharing it with you guys free of charge as nobody's paying for this session, right? Therefore, the outcome might slightly be different. When you are copying me, understand very well that you and I are not on the same level. I repeat, understand very well that you and I are not on the same level, and you are responsible for your own decisions, irregardless. And however I perceive my information, my experiences, how you receive them, it's up to you. I'm trying to save nothing. I'm trying to send nothing but a positive message to you guys. However you receive it, if you receive it the opposite way, then that's on your business. That is my disclaimer. I'm done. In short, what I'm trying to say is I will not be responsible for anything that happens to you after this session based on the information that we discuss on this session. That is my disclaimer. When you are copying me with understanding that you are going to be responsible for your own actions. Thank you. As I'm continuing, when the actual is below the cons, it's a sell. When it actually is above the cons, it's a buy for case event. I'm referring to NFP, which is a non-farms payroll. Now, the unemployment rate, UR, it's a percentage event. Percentage events are the opposite of case events. Now, normally, when the actual is above the cons, it's a buy and vice versa. But in this case, when the percentage is above the cons, it simply means that it's a sell. And when the percentage is below the cons, it's a buy. So meaning that the opposite is happening. So in my example, the NFP is a buy. We are buying any pair that involves USD, right? Where USD is a base currency, we are buying. Where USD is a code currency, we are selling. Now, under unemployment rate, 5.2 is our previous. What happened the previous month? And the economists predicted that it's going to be 5.3. That is the cons, that is the prediction that they are presuming that it's going to happen, right? When it comes out as the actual, it came out as 5.2, which is 0.1% below the cons, meaning that normally it's supposed to be a sell. But because it's a percentage event, it's going to be a buy. So that's the whole thing. Now, between these two events, which are happening all at once, which one is more powerful? Now, the UR is more powerful than the NFP, which is the case event. Any percentage event is more powerful, but the NFP, which is the case event, is most likely to react fast, meaning that it's going to react quicker compared to the percentage one. Now, the NFP one, which is the case event, is most likely to react for split seconds. Then that's where we get to have rejection. That's where rejection comes in. Have you seen CPI rejecting the previous month? Not this one, the other month. CPI have rejected, and most of you guys said they even didn't move. It didn't go in our favor. You need to understand why it didn't go in our favor. It literally rejected because the report wanted it to reject. If these two events do not match, it's definitely going to reject. Now, when the NFP report comes out like this, guys, right? When the NFP report comes out like this, what this simply means is there's a possible rejection. Therefore, whatever profit that you see, please exit. That's what I've learned on my personal experience. But in cases where the actual comes out as maybe 5.4%, now this simply means that both events will be green. Therefore, it's going to be a beautiful buy. You are looking at with the estimated percentages of 0.1 and 50,000 difference on the case event, you are looking at a clean 45 minutes on a buy. Clean 45 minutes on a buy. And yeah, basically, that's just about it. Now, where we have case events, anything above 30,000 points, anything about 30,000, it's actually a good movement, whether it's a sell or buy. Anything about 30,000, anything above 30,000, I'm referring to the difference between actual and cons, is actually good. And then when it comes to the percentages, anything about 0.1% is actually good as well, And then anything above 60,000 difference between the cons on actual on case event is the best. Anything above 0.02% on the case event is the best. Now I'm done. I hope now I've clarified most of the things that you guys needed to know when it comes to NFP. So let me just erase and go back to the types of events. So this was not really part of our schedule, but I I noticed it's important that you guys understand what is it that you're going to be trading. So when the report outcome is good, guys, it simply means that you can also execute and still come out all right. I've done it multiple times. I have personal experience. So number one, percentage event has more power, even though case event will react first. I hope you understand that. Number three, standard events. Standard events. Standard events is events like PMIs, you know, the PMIs under GBP, those are standard events. They do have a bit of power, not that much though, but they do have a bit of power. Now, number four, EMS events. EMS events is mostly it's crude oil. It's anything that has to do with crude oil, mostly under USD. And depending on the changes, they quite move the market as well, especially USD pairs. And they happen at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon normally. So have a look at that. They'll give you quite a good number of points. And I'll also state and denote the number of points that each event can or is able to give you, so that you can understand the difference between all this type, on these types of events. Now, speeches. It's the one which are denoted by microphone, you know, next to it, and they don't really have an actual fact on paper or investing.com. So it's just a matter of hoping where the market is gonna go, and they're not really the best. And all countries have speeches, but mostly speeches which move the market. It's euro. It's let me just write them down. It's euro, USD, GBP. Their speeches have proven to be powerful, but the last time I've traded speeches was in 2019. I haven't traded speeches in a long time, and I don't know if they move the market anymore or not, right? So yeah, that's just what's happening. So now I'll be now denoting the number of points that each event is able to move. Number one, the percentage event. The percentage event is able to move the market. Obviously, depending on the number of changes in between the constant actual, that also plays a huge part. But percentages event, we are looking at about 400 to 1,200 points. The case event, we are looking at 300 to 1,000 points. The standard events, we are looking at about 250 to 500 points. These are just based on my personal experiences. Actual facts might slightly be different. EMS events, we are looking at about 150 to 300 points. Remember, like I said, the actual facts might slightly be different. And speeches, we are looking at about 100 to 300 points, but it's more or less long term, right? It's not something that's gonna happen immediately. So I'm gonna now speak about the time frame that each event might react. So the case event, I'm gonna start with the case event. The case event, let me just, yeah, you are looking at 1 second. This is like the time that the event can take to move, you know, the number of points that I've denoted. Remember, 10 points is equivalent to 1 pip. 100 points is equivalent to 10 pips. 1,200 points is equivalent to 120 pips. Yeah. Now, this one can move in like 1 second, the percentage event. No, sorry. The percentage event, it's 1 minute. Sorry, guys. How do I edit this? Okay, yeah. 1 minute. And then the case event is 1 second. The standard event is 15 minutes. Guys, remember that. Let me just confirm something quickly. Just hold on for me. I'm actually on the economic calendar. I wanna confirm something quickly. How do I calendar filters importance? I want triples only. I want triples only apply. Where do I go to next week? How do I select next week here? Yeah, guys. Okay. Okay, yeah. So let me just go to next week. I want to confirm something. Yeah, guys, the reason why I've just confirmed it, the reason why I do not speak about interest rates is because they fall under percentages. I hope I've seen a question saying, Coach, why are you not mentioning interest rate? Interest rate falls under percentages, guys. That is why I'm not mentioning anything separately. Now, after that, we have EMS events. They take around about 15 minutes as well. To the 15 minutes that I'm referring to is the time that the event is able to move at its full potential time. Speeches, 30 minutes, right? Now, these times are just like estimations of what I've seen in my personal experience. In reality, it might be more or less greater and above, right? Sharp. Now, I think I've covered almost everything in which is important regarding this event, right? And I'm sure now you're able to understand the difference between the events and which event to risk more on and which event to risk less on. You know, the greater the event moves, that's where your risk is more worth it compared to where the event is going to move less. And it's important that you guys know and understand that. So now I'll be moving to the next topic, guys, which is, are you still with me, guys? Please confirm on the chat box. I don't want to find myself talking to myself. Yeah, thank you. I can see the confirmations. Thank you so much. Now, I'll be speaking about event movement, which is now event types. Remember now, I was speaking about report types. The previous topic I was handling, if I said event, I've made a mistake. It's actually report types, like the type of report that you're going to be dealing with. Now we're going to be speaking about event types, and I'm going to be denoting them according to power, right? Interest rate, number one, it has literally power. Number two, it's employment reports. Employment reports, it includes NFP as well. Your NFP, your employment change for other currencies, and whatnot. CPI. Remember, each country has CPI events, not only under USD. CPI is number three. Now, this is according to power, which event is more powerful than the other. I'm listing them in sequence. Number four, PPI. PPI is actually new on our list. It wasn't that powerful, but now it has made it to our list. Now, the last one is GDP events, right? They are also quite fair. So number one, interest rates are the best. Number two, employment reports. Any report that includes job opportunities, including NFP, the best. CPI, the best, which is consumer price index. PPI, price what, I don't know. It's the best as well. GDP, gross domestic product event, the best as well. So this is like the sequence in terms of top 5, right? So without wasting time, we're moving to the next topic. So now we are moving now. Now we're moving. Now we have what we call underrated events, right? Underrated events. Now, underrated events are events which are more powerful, but we speak about them less, and we also don't trade them often, right? CPI was part of the underrated events, but now it's public. And I'm going to tell you what the liquidity providers are doing to CPI now. I'll be explaining that shortly. But now we're still on underrated events. The first underrated event, this one is not in sequence. The first underrated event, guys, that we are not paying attention to, South African interest rate. It is so underrated and it is powerful because small movement, just the market moving from 19 rands on USD ZAR to 18 rands if it's a sell, it is very powerful. It can make you a millionaire from just a small deposit. Just that one movement under ZAR interest rate is very powerful. The problem is the spread is crazy. That is one of the reasons why we don't trade it, because we don't even understand how to apply risk management on something that has 4 million spread. You know, you don't even know. But yeah, have a look at ZAR interest rate, guys. You are going to thank me later. Number two, these ones are not in sequence, guys. These ones are listed randomly. Guys, did you know that here are weird facts about JPY interest rate? Number one, JPY interest rate is 2 bulls. Do you guys know that JPY interest rate is 2 bulls? It's not 3 bulls. It's not 3 stars. It's only 2 bulls. And it doesn't appear on your calendar if you've... Guys, hold on. Hey, let me see. It's like I'm wearing a G-string. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening. Excuse me for a moment. Hey, you know that moment where you are sitting and we call it what do we call it in my language? I forgot. Where you feel like the underwear is starting to squeeze you, and now it's not make sure. Hey, happy. So also means they are going through the most. We call it swape. Hey, it was swaperizing me now on my birthday. Imagine, it's witches. They're not happy that I'm sharing very insightful information with my people. Anyways, yeah, as I was stating, the fact about JPY interest rate, 2 bulls, right? That's the fact number one. It's 2 bulls. Fact number two, the previous month, GBP interest rate moved 3,000 points. Guys, do you know what 3,000 points mean? 3,000 points mean that with just $10, $10 is equivalent to 150 rands. It's more now, I know, but I'm just giving you an example that you're gonna understand. Now with 0.10 lot size on 1:1,000 leverage, USD JPY as a pair. With 3,000 points, it simply means that you are going to be making $10 per 100 points. 100, you are going to be making $300. That's what it means. So it simply means that from 150, you are going to make, what is $300? You are going to make about 4,500. That's what 3,000 points mean. Now, if you are like me, you are trading like me, here's how much I was going to make on that particular interest rate. Because I would deposit 100,000. That simply means that I'm going to make 3 million on a single trade. That's what 3,000 points mean. Literally, that's what 3,000 points mean. So it is massive, and we shouldn't sleep on it. It is very much massive. JPY interest rate, pay attention to it. It's a 2-bull event. It's not a 3-bull. So if you're filtered to 2 bulls, you're most likely not to see it. I mean, if you're filtered only to 3 bulls, only seeing 3 bulls, you're most likely not to see it. Pay attention to it. It's coming somewhere. I don't know when, but it's coming somewhere. Now, another underrated event, continuing with our list, number 3, it's CHF. I'm just gonna combine these two, CHF, CNY. So interest rates and other events. Others is their CPIs, their employment change. They move like crazy, guys. They move like crazy, and we are not paying attention. Why? Because these events are code currencies. So I'm telling you these things because you might develop your own strategy that works for you. That's how the 1 minute strategy was born. I was able to know and understand this information, and I was able to develop something out of it. So pay attention to these ones on your own. Just pay attention to this underrated event, and then you will thank me later, right? Now we are moving on, guys, to another topic. I'm gonna erase all this. Remember, now the meeting is recorded. A copy of this meeting shall be made available. I'm gonna upload the whole session on YouTube. I think it's gonna be easier. At this stage, I don't care that people didn't pay for online services or whatnot. It's fine. It's the least that I can do on my birthday, at least, giving people this knowledge. Pairs to trade. I'm gonna be listing all the standard pairs that you're going to be using. The standard, I simply mean what we normally use. And how do you know that it's a standard event? The trading volume is high, number 1. The spread is low, number 2. So that's how we know. So allow me to just quickly type this without saying anything. Remember, if you are unable to see what I've written, you can zoom in, zoom out the same way you're doing so on pictures, only during the live session. Now, these are the common pairs that we normally use during this event. So when you see a GBP event, we are going to be using GBP USD. USD event, USD JPY. Euro event, Euro USD. AUD event, AUD USD. CAD event, CAD JPY. NZD event, NZD USD. But at the same time, we also have what we call underrated pairs. Underrated pairs simply means that these are the events, these are the pairs or indices that you can trade the same event using and still make more money than someone who has traded the common ones. I repeat, this pairs, it simply means that you can also trade them, the pairs that I'm about to put now. I'm going to try to align everything accordingly. So on GBP USD, actually, let me just type them. Let me type them. I'll explain everything after. Ash, I think, yo, Jesu, what did I do? Where's undo? Oh, okay, yo, Jesu. Okay. Now, also remember that some of the pairs that I'm stating here, they might not be available on your thing, on your broker. And where I've made a mistake, you'll just apologize. I mean, you'll just forgive me because I'm writing everything from my head, right? I'm writing everything from my head, so I might make a mistake then there. So GBP USD is the base currency for GBP events. Alternatively, GBP JPY is underrated, yet still it moves better. USD CAD, I mean USD JPY is a common pair for USD event, yet still USD CAD is underrated for USD events, yet still it moves better. Euro USD is a common pair for Euro events, yet still Euro JPY can move better. Obviously, it also depends on the nature of the event. AUD USD. AUD USD as the pair for AUD events. AUD NZD is underrated, yet still it can move better. CAD JPY is the basic pair for CAD events, yet still USD CAD, where CAD is a code, it can still move better. But where CAD is a code, it means the opposite is going to happen, right? NZD USD, same story. Where else NZD USD is a base pair for NZD events, NZD JPY can still move better. So this events on the other side, they are underrated, yet still they move up to 3 times more than the normal events that we know. During the weekly schedule, of course, I'm going to tell you about these common ones. Why? Because they are normal, less volatility. For example, GBP JPY is crazy as hell. NZD JPY is crazy as hell. You know, sometimes, or for AUD, you also AUD JPY. For AUD, alternative is AUD JPY is also underrated, yet still, so volatile and it can move better. So so I'll always give you the normal ones because it's what we are used to, right? And the spread is better. So these ones, even the spread can be 3 times more. That is the problem. Now, the problem why we don't recommend them that much is because the spread can be 3 times more, which now for a beginner, it becomes much more difficult to even know what you need to do because now the spread is bigger. You understand what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. So I hope now you are able to see and understand that, okay, for each event, blah 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 blah. Now I'm also going to, while we're still at it, where's the eraser? I'm also going to mention pairs for other events. For example, JPY. JPY event, you can use any pair that has JPY. CNY, CHF, these are the pairs which don't, which they are never a base currency. You can use literally any of the pairs. I just haven't done much research as to which one moves further, but on JPY normally is USD JPY, where the JPY previously moved 3,000 points, and on CHF it's USD CHF, and then on CNY I don't know, but I don't know which pair. I think it's CNY JPY. I think, I don't know, or JPY, but no, JPY is never a base currency in most cases. But for CNY events, just try to find it on your own. You should be able to find something depending on the broker that you are using. So now we're moving to the next topic. Guys, are you enjoying the session, or I'm crazy? Sometimes you might find that you are crazy. You're just speaking to yourself. Are you enjoying? Are you guys learning? Okay, perfect. Because sometimes, guys, it's my birthday. I should be doing more important things like having sex. You see, it's my life is not fair. It's my birthday. I'm supposed to be having sex, with not one woman, but 4. It's my birthday. You understand what I mean? I'm supposed to be enjoying with 4 women, 1 man, but I'm here instead with you. It's fine. So after the session, I will just masturbate and sleep. It's fine. God will bless me. God will bless me, I know. Because when you guys make money with the knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys, God will give me more blessings. And I receive. Amen. Thank you. Now, we are going to be approaching towards the end of our session. We have a couple of topics that we are going to be discussing now. Now, one of the most underrated correlation pairs. I don't know if I'm saying it. Someone is saying I'm watching with my family. Why are you watching me with your family? Don't watch me with your family. One of the most underrated correlation pairs or whatsoever is during USD events, you can trade US 30. You can trade US 100, which is NASDAQ. NAS 100 / US Tech. It's the same thing, guys. This is like US 100, NAS 100, NASDAQ 100, US Tech is the same thing. SHAG USD. SHAU USD. SHAG USD. Guys, SHAG USD, which one is gold and silver between these two? I don't know. Someone on the comment is saying woman. What is he saying? this comment. What is he saying? Oh, shall I missed the comment, but it's fine. They're saying shag USD is silver, and then shao is gold. Okay, shag it's silver. Yes, you see, I'm also learning something. I forget this once. Remember, now I know a lot of things. I also get tired of these things. So alternatively, for some of the USD events, you can trade this pairs that I'm listing. They are very much powerful. Also, for euro events, you can trade euro GBP. Extremely powerful. I forgot to add it on the underrated pairs because I'm writing everything from my head. So euro GBP is very much powerful. So nice thing about euro GBP is you can trade both euro event and GBP event at the same time. The movement will still be powerful. And there's also what we call pip value. Euro GBP has the highest pip value compared to Euro USD for Euro event, as well as GBP USD for GBP event. So if you want to make more money with the same movement, go for Euro GBP. But now the problem now with Euro GBP is the spread will slightly be higher compared to Euro USD and GBP USD. That is why we don't go for it normally. But as soon as you go to the advanced level simply means that now you're trading beyond your limitations. You are now, going to the next level of trading, of which that's the whole point of me mentoring you. I want you guys to go to the next level of trading, right? Now, US 30 and US 100, which is NASDAQ. US 30 has more power than NASDAQ. US 30 has more pip value than NASDAQ, right? US 30 has more movement than NASDAQ. So that's one of the underrated facts that you guys might not be aware of. Where US 100 moves 100 points, US 30 can move up to 150 or even more than that. So US 30 moves more and its pip value is always more. So you guys are focused a lot on US 100. There's also US 30 that you can trade. Now, gold, silver. Silver is underrated. Gold is overrated. Silver, even though the movements are similar, but silver is much more better in terms of movement as to compared to gold, right? Because gold is too focused. I mean, it's too famous. Everyone is focusing on gold, forgetting there's also silver. Now on USD event, USD ZAR, just know where you remember the JPY event that moved 3,000 points. Now, because it's USD JPY, the pair moved 3,000 points. It can never happen on any other pair that involves USD but not JPY. Therefore, this only applies to USD events. On USD events, guys, normalize, but you also need to understand that you need to be an expert for you to know and understand what you're doing, right? You should normalize using USD ZAR. Trust me, you are going to make a lot of money. But the problem is the spread. Once you understand how the spread works, so I'm going to be opening a trade, right, on USD ZAR, just so that we can more or less understand what we are talking about. But yeah, I'm going to be opening a trade. So okay. I won't be able to, but it's fine. Let me just do this. So where was I? I forgot. I even forgot where I was. It's fine. We are moving on, guys. Next topic. Spread. during events. Most important thing, yo, guys, FBK students, yes, you guys are giving me stress, so you guys are going to kill me, young. Anyways, Arxa Tomilite, spread USD JPY. I'm going to make an example with one pair for the sake of time, because I've been in this session for the longest time. It's been over an hour now. USD JPY, the spread is around 20, 8 to 20, depending on the broker, right? Now, during events, it can go up to, what's the max that I've seen? It can go up to 85, actually, during events when it's too volatile. Now, with one example of $100 on 1:1,000 leverage, using lot size 1 on a standard account. When you open a trade, you are going to start your trade with negative $20, meaning that you are left with a positive equity of about $80, right? That's what it means. The $80 is your remaining equity during the progress of the trade. When you're opening a trade during normal news conditions, not, during normal conditions, not news. Actually, someone on the comments said they've seen 121 spread on USD JPY during NFP. Perfect. I love this example. 121 spread simply means that when you open a trade with $100 on 1:1,000 leverage, one lot size, standard account type, it means that your trade is going to start on negative 121, provided that each 1 point is worth 0.01 pip value, or whatever the example is, or 0.10, I don't know. Yeah, you are looking at minus 121 when you're trying to go into the trade. Now, your remaining equity is negative. How much is the remaining? You have $100. Your equity is negative 21. It simply means your account is below. Now, recap on the first example. You are on USD JPY, $100, 1:1,000 leverage, standard lot size 1 on NFP. You are, on a normal day, you are executing, your trade is going to start on negative $20. You are still left with about $80 equity, right? That is floating. During news, the spread could go up to 121. Therefore, you're going to start your trade on negative 121. Therefore, you are left with, you actually owe the broker $21 because you only had $100. Your account is blown. So have you seen, I'm sure some of you guys have seen it, you're entering into a trade, then the next thing your account is gone. You don't even understand what happens. It's because the spread was higher. In a split second, your money is gone, just like that. So how to avoid that? How to avoid that? On a $100 account, same situation. During news, I am going to use lot size 0.50 instead. Now, my trade is going to start on negative 121 divided by 2, which is 60.50. My trade is going to start on negative 60.50 USD. Already, I have an equity of about 39, positive 39.50 that I can still float and run on. right? So during news, I would do that. I know that this negative $60, as soon as the first minute passes, should I survive the trade, the spread will go back to its normal state. Therefore, this amount will no longer be negative 60, but provided the event haven't moved much, it's going to be instead, it's going to be negative 10. Yeah, literally it's going to be negative 10, half of the normal thing when I've used the standard account. Then I know that I've survived. So I hope you are able to understand sometimes what actually blows your money during events, where else you have done the same thing when there was no event. So understand that the spread can actually blow your account quicker. Now, moving on to the next topic while we're still on the spread. So here's the chart. Here's the forex graph. Yeah, the pricings. Yeah, the candlesticks. Yeah, let's just say these are candlesticks. Now, these are pricings, right? As I've stated. Now, where let me just remove the last candlestick so that I'm able to write what I need to write. Now, in your order, there is two lines. This is line number one. This is line number two. This line is called ask. This line is called bid. Now, spread is the difference between the two. Have you seen instances whereby your trades are running, but the market never reached that point? It also happens on some of the NASDAQ signals, whereby we give people a price saying, okay, enter this price. The next thing a person says, my trades haven't opened, but the market never reached there. So they also don't understand how did their trade start running, because the market never reached that specific entry, right? It is because of the bid and ask. The difference between bid and ask is called spread as well. So ask is able to open your buy orders even though the actual market haven't reached that entry price. So your market is actually calculated based on bid, but the ask can stretch anywhere. So when we say the bid is about 120, I mean, when we say the spread can go up to 121, we simply means that even though the bid is here, the ask can go and open orders which are 121 points away from this price, even though the market will never or have never reached that point. When it comes to trading Forex, guys, it's not even about whether you make money or not. It's about understanding why you made money. It's about understanding why you did not make money. It's about understanding why you won. It's about understanding why you lost. So understanding. Now, when a particular thing happens, you need to understand why and how it happened. When it comes to Forex, guys, it's not about what you do now. It's not about what you achieve now. It's about your next move. How you feel now doesn't matter. What matters is what are you going to next? What are you going to do next about how you feel now? Because let me tell you, how you feel now after losing a trade. I'm going to give you an example, guys. You know, people are weird. People are weird. I'm going to give you an example with NASDAQ people. In NASDAQ, fifth wave, right? Signal one. These are based on overall performance. Overall performance, I'm referring to the number of results that I've received, right? We do not count what I haven't received because I don't know it. Hey guys, being a mentor, when you whatever that you do, don't be a mentor. especially to people who did not go to school. I'm starting to suspect that all these people in my groups they come from one mother. I'm going through the most. So fifth wave, Nasdaq signals. Yes, they are the current stats based on overall performance, as I stated, right? Uh, being a mentor is very difficult. First signal, it's a win. Second signal, it's a win. Third signal, it's a win. Fourth signal, it's a win, right? And then fifth signal, it's a win. And then there's also signal 7, and there's also signal 8, right? We only go above to signal 9, 10, 11 if we have if we have 2 losses or more. That's when so by 2 losses or more, no, actually, if we have more than 2 losses, meaning that from 3 losses, that when we're going to have signal 9, 10, 11, blah, 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 right? You'll see FBK students. Signal 8, it's not yet in. I'm predicting a win. Signal 7, it's today on my birthday. I'm predicting a win. Signal 6, which was yesterday, the 16th of May, it was a loss. Right? Look at the stats. FBK students now. Signal 1, win. 2, win. 3, win. 4, win. 5, win. Coach, thank you. You've changed my life. You're my inspiration. I love you. Coach, thank you. You've changed my life. You are the best. Signal 6, loss. Fuck you. You're a scammer. You're Jesus. Hey, being a mentor, your signals are weak. You are weak. One of the admins could not sleep one time where on the 4th wave or 2nd wave, I don't remember, we had 1 loss, I think, as well. This one guy told him he doesn't forget the words. This one guy said to him that you are full of shit, comma, and whatever that you do, you will never succeed. Right? They only lost once. Keep in mind, they only lost once. Remember now, when it's a win, it doesn't mean that all the people won. It simply means that majority of the people won. About 80-90% won. Those who lost, babam. Remember now, guys, no matter how good the service is, we cannot stop God's will. When God is dealing with you, he's dealing with you. We cannot do anything about it, right? So this guy said to one of the admins that your grandmother died a lesbian. You fucking shit. That's what he said, literally. You fucking shit. Your grandmother died a lesbian. When we look at the stats, we won 7 times and only lost once. We only literally lost once. That's FBK students for you. So I've learned not to take these things to the heart, because I understand that, you can win 6, 7 times whatsoever, and you lose once, then it's over. I understand the frustration. I mean, I've been there before, but also you as people must understand that we are also humans, guys. Please don't be too hard on my team, because even today, that admin, he's still not okay. I mean, how do you tell someone that your grandmother died a lesbian? My admin's grandmother is still alive, but literally when the grandmother dies, he will not only cry because he lost the grandmother, but he will also cry because You said their grandmother died a lesbian. That's black people, and it's more psychological than anything else. Now, we specifically at the beginning of the service, even the poster states, you are going to get 8 to 11 signals. I'm continuing. 8 to 11 signals, right? Signal 9, signal 10, signal 11. You will see that we are going through the most as mentors, guys. And we do state and explain to you at the beginning of the service, I'm referring to NASDAQ signals, that you are going to get 8 signals, right? Out of the 8 signals, we can only take up to 2 losses, meaning that it's 6 wins, 2 losses, then the service ends. If it's 5 wins and 3 losses, then that's where you get signal number 9, 10, and 11 to replace whatever loss that occurred. But also, there is no guarantee that signal 9, 10, 11 will be good. We're just saying we will go an extra mile to make sure you win. Sharp. Signal 1, it's a win. They were happy. 2 win, happy. 3 win, happy. 4 win, happy. 5 win, happy. Yesterday, number 6, it's a loss, our first loss. Today's signal, which is number 7, I'm predicting it's a win because I'm a winner. I believe everything I do is a win. It should be a win. The last one should be a win. Now, after I've given them the schedule as a reminder, admin gets messages. Yeah, you bullshit. You said you're going to give us 11 signals. You are a scammer. We only got 6 signals. And then we asking them, did you not, how many times have we won? How many times have you lost? Yeah, I won 5 times and I lost yesterday, but it doesn't matter. You said you're going to give us signals for the rest of the month. I want my money back. Yes. Then to show that these people have bipolar, to show that the same person today, signal number 7, they will make money and come back. You're my inspiration. I love you. Coach, I love you. I need to meet you, my brother. You're the best. I made money. I love you so much. Signal number 8, they make money again. Coach, I've recovered signal number 6 loss. I deposited 1,000. Now I made 9,000. I've even withdrawn it. It's the best. Now, on Friday, we send the last message and say the service has ended. We have reached the end of the journey. He comes back again. You scammer! You said you're going to give us signals for the rest of the month. You are fake. I want my money back. They have bipolar. These people, FBK students, they are not mentally okay. They are not mentally okay. Sorry if it sounds like an offense, but I think most of you guys are not okay mentally. How do you switch from you are my inspiration, I made money, thank you, to fuck you, you are a scammer? I still don't get it. Tomorrow, you forgot about what you said yesterday. Now, tomorrow, you are saying you are my inspiration. Yesterday, you said my grandmother died a lesbian. Tomorrow, you're coming and say, I need to meet you and give you your flowers while you're still alive. And it's difficult, guys, because I've learned not to put emotions when I deal with you, because you guys act on emotions. And I've got to be the bigger person, unfortunately. It's okay, but you guys are hating us because we are doing our, how on earth are you able to win 5 times in a row and only lose once and still make it feel like we have never done anything? It's painful. And we understand you guys are desperate for money, but losses are there. It's part of the journey. But otherwise, we are mentors. We agreed that we are going to be the bigger people. And no matter how much you've hurt us with the words that you're saying, we'll always take it in and continue, right? But I want you to know that we want what's best for you. Literally, we want what's best for you. And people lost on signal number 1 and signal number 2 in the Nasdaq fifth wave. And when you lose, you sit down and you ask yourself, how did 92% of the people who traded the same signal won? How did I lose? That is how you beat the psychological part of trading. You start questioning yourself. And then we normally send all the results in those groups, right? You go through each and every result, check their lot sizes, check their account types, check their balances, check their entry points, check their exit points, check if they have any TPs, check if they have any stop losses. More or less, you should be able to understand the difference between what you've done and what they have done. Therefore, on the next signal, you should be able to improve. Now, remember, in FBK Online Services, you are not going to get a Nasdaq signal, a free Nasdaq signal, because I've given you the mentoring section. This is bigger than any signal. You'll get the free Nasdaq signal probably from next month, right? So, yeah, it was just something that I needed to get off my chest. We are moving on, guys. We are moving on. Where was I the last time? Did I speak about how much you can make? Please remind me on the chat box. Did I speak about how much you can make when it comes to these events? Oh, yeah. There's no and yes. I'll just do a small recap. Guys, here's the best strategy that I know it works for me. In a month, I have, let me say, 500. Yeah, actually. Not even 500 is a lot, guys. 200, let me say 200. And I look at the economic calendar based on FBK online services events. And I see that next week we have NZD interest rate. Next week we have ZAR interest rate. We have whatever interest rate. And I know this is the max amount of money that I can get, for that particular week. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in a micro account, not standard. Your leverage doesn't really affect your trades per se, because most people believe that if you have less leverage, you are most likely not to lose. If you have less leverage, instead, you are most likely not able to open trades instead. When you have less leverage, you're most likely not to even be able to open not be able to open trades. Let me put it that way. When you have a small leverage, you're most likely not to be able to open any trade. So your leverage literally is your key point in allowing you to open trades. Now, where you actually manage your risk management is through lot size, not leverage. And if your leverage is 1:100, you are not going to open trades. 1:200, you are not going to open trades. 1:300, you are not going. Leverage that allows you to open trades normally starts from 1:500. 1:500, that's the one that's a bit better. It allows you to open trades. Now, if you have 1:100, you can open trades. This what it means. It simply means that for you to open, let's say 0. I think I'm cutting. My internet is unstable. Jesus, it's uh, hello. I'm still testing. It completely kicked me out. But I'm getting back. I, uh, are you able to see my screen? Oh my God, the internet is bad, guys. I, yeah. Please confirm if you're able to see my screen on the chat box. Yeah, I can see I'm cutting. Yeah, I can see I'm cutting. I'm trying to connect to another. Are you able to hear me? Guys, yeah, I think we are back now. Yo, yeah, yeah. The internet was just bad just a few minutes ago. Yeah, we are back now. I think maybe this is a sign that we should just quickly wrap up because now, yeah, the network was back. Was bad, I mean. Am I audible? Are you able to hear me properly? Please confirm on the chat box. Yeah, thank you. So it kicked me like 2 times off the meeting entirely, but it's still recording. So the recording is in progress. That's the last thing. So we should be able to get the meeting, and yeah, then that's it. So let me just move towards the end of the session because wow, it's been one hell of a journey. Load shedding is about to end. We've been on load shedding ever since 10 p.m. During the session. So I've already explained what causes rejection. Normally, it's when the two events don't match, because normally an event is not really a report. Let me rather say a report does not consist of one event. It consists of multiple events. So rejection occurs when one or more events are not going on the same direction. Some say buy, some say sell, and whatnot. Also, two bulls can be powerful. JPY has proved it. We also have unemployment rate, unemployment change under AUD, which is a two bull event as well. Normally, it happens around 2:30, 3:30 a.m. on Thursdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It can also move the market and whatnot. Orders deleted. That's what I want to quickly touch. So orders deleted, guys. Orders deleted, slippage of codes. Those are the few things that I want to touch and explain just quickly. Let me just type them. Yeah. So order deleted or no money. So what it refers to is that the lot size. Yeah, I can hear it's breaking again, guys. I can hear it's breaking again. Yo, it's starting. Yo, Joshua. Yeah. Okay, I think it's fine now. Orders deleted, no money simply means that the lot size that you've used is big. It's horrible. Now the internet is bad, guys. Yeah, it simply means the lot size that you've used is huge. Therefore, you need to reduce your lot size, or the leverage that you've chosen is small. You need to increase your leverage. Or the account type that you're using is not suitable for the amount of money that you have. Three situations. Lot size is huge, you need to reduce it. Leverage is small, you need to increase it. Account type is not suitable, go to a micro. That's what orders deleted mean. So when the market reaches your price and it doesn't count with either profit or loss, or also margin. Let me add margin. So I'm just explaining some of the terms that are affecting you guys when you're trying to open trades so that you get to understand, right? Now, yeah, margin. What margin means is, I'm not going to explain or define what margin is, but I'm going to explain it in a sense, actually, margin and stop out. I'm going to explain both of these things at once. Have you seen instances where you are trading the 1 minute strategy, you set your orders however you're instructed, then the next thing, let's say you have 100 rands on a standard account, 1:1,000 leverage, 0.01 lot size on USD JPY. The next thing, your buy stop opens because the market went up. When it opens, all of a sudden, your orders are getting closed and you lost 13 rands. Now, all of a sudden, your balance is about 87 rands. So you have used lot size 0.01. Your account is not blown, but you lost 13 rands, of which 13 rands is not even enough that it can kick you out. So during volatility of news, right, the margin requirements per trade is not necessarily the same as to when there are no news. The margin requirements gets increased by who? The liquidity provider, not the broker, guys. Guys, a broker, I'll make a separate session about a broker. A broker is like your relationship. It's nothing. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. Your relationship is something. But yeah, a broker is nothing. It's just a compilation of different systems and components connected all at once. Now, when an activity happens and you are blaming the broker, you are wrong. You need to understand the components which form part of the broker. A broker doesn't increase the margin, the liquidity does. So during news, the liquidity gets increased. Stop out. During news, the liquidity can increase the stop out level. You understand? Literally, the liquidity can. So that's where it kicks you out with 13 rands. Your account is not blown. You're on a profit. Jiggy jiggy, you're on a loss. You understand what I mean? So those are some of the things, plus spread on top of that. So your margin and stop out during news are not normal. So that's what I want you guys to understand. They are literally not normal, right? I hope that is clear. Off codes, there are two ways. A book brokers, that's why I'm saying I need to make a session about brokers separately. A book brokers. Let me just type this. Guys, are you able to hear me? Because I see people on the comments saying they're unable to hear me. Yeah, please assist those who say they can hear me. I think when I was going on and off, their sound was disconnected. Please help them in the meantime while I'm still typing these things. Yeah. So, book brokers during off codes. Book brokers during off codes, it simply means that the liquidity is now. Guys, listen attentively. Now I'm going to beat you guys with English. Here on this session, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have whoever. But 90% of these people don't even have metric. Most of you guys are just dropouts. But I'm going to beat you guys with English. I know Forex traders didn't go to school. You are literally counting those who went to school. On book brokers, the liquidity during news, specifically when it says off codes, the liquidity can be illiquidated. I repeat, during news on an book broker off code situation, the liquidity can be illiquidated. But let me explain in simple terms. During news of codes on an book broker that relies entirely on a liquidity provider, it's simply internet again. Internet again. Internet. Corey, I beat you guys with English. Already the internet is going. Corey, I beat everyone, even the internet. Some claim that they can hear me. You can hear me, but you don't understand. How I know that you don't understand is when you're coming to me and saying, Coach, the broker is saying off codes. Why? Why are you asking me why the broker is saying off codes if you understood what I'm saying? Not going to school doesn't mean you are not educated. Anyways, what it means is now the price that you're trying to get into or buy into, there is no enough money to execute that trade at that particular moment because of the volatility that's happening on the market. Volatility, I know there's someone who doesn't know what volatility means. I'm going to say it in a language that you understand. Volatility means bofebe, right? What it means, busy. You know, volatility is what's currently happening in your relationship. Agare, you know, gents, especially those who don't have money, you know, in your relationship, there's you as the main guy, and then there's us who are coming in as financial backups to strengthen your relationships. So it's volatility. Your woman has you as the boyfriend, as the main guy who's being posted. Then there's also me who calls her at 2 a.m. on my birthday because I want something that's going to help me sleep. Then tomorrow, my brother calls her. Later on, another brother of mine, I'm referring to rich niggas. Another brother of mine calls her, you know, the whole week. She even goes to a couple of Nigerian guys during the week who are rich as well. I'm referring to that. So what I'm giving you this example because you're going to understand better. So it's called volatility. It's busy, busy. It's very busy in your relationship. That is volatility. So that's what happens in the market. It's very busy. There's too many things which are happening. So now I know tomorrow no one will ever ask me what does volatility mean because already it's happening in your life. We are moving on. B-book brokers, off codes happens internally. They turn it off. Literally, they turn it off. They're able to turn off the servers manually as a broker without having to contact the liquidity because there's no liquidity. Hybrid is a broker that uses both the liquidity and some of the trades, they don't use the liquidity. So what that means is they create their own in-house liquidity. They're taking the risks on themselves. They're not really scammers, but they calculate the risk. So traders like you, they are going to put them on a B book category. Traders like me, they're going to put me on an A book category, even though we're on the same broker. You understand? So hybrid means both. So on hybrid mode, sometimes the liquidity can turn off the servers because the system is full. There is no available liquidity that can be exhausted at that given moment. Sometimes the broker can turn off the servers because they don't want to occur or take further risk than what they already have based on the clients that they've categorized on the B book category. Hope that makes sense. Slippage goes back to the relationship of volatility, right? Anything that is busy always gets widened up. A road that has been created now, especially in the villages where you walk daily, as soon as cars start passing, sorry, cars don't walk, sorry. As soon as cars start passing, trucks start passing, the road grows, right? It grows into something that it was not. So that's what happens with slippage. Slippage is a situation whereby you are opening a trade at a certain price, but the trade gets executed at a price that you did not set, right? Guys, it's slippery, you know. I wouldn't say it's wet, but it's slippery. And every time, guys, you guys are adults. There's no kid here. Anything that is slippery, whenever you're trying to enter into it, what happens? It slips inside. So that's what happens. I don't need to give further examples as to what is it that gets wet and when you try to enter, it gets slippery. I don't need to explain that. You guys are adults, but that's what happens on slippages. When it's slippery, it's slippery. There's nothing. Stop accusing us saying that we pushed your order. We didn't push your order. The market was wet and you were sliding. Whether you were what you were sliding inside, we don't know, but you were sliding. And what causes the slippage is various occasions that we cannot control. We cannot really set that, you know what, you are going to slip up to this particular movement. That's why the slippery situations are never the same. They differ under each conditions, they differ per trader. When you set this price, if this price is not available, it will slip to the next available price. The next available price can be 500 points away. There is nothing we can do. Even if you move to the next broker, it will still get slippery. It's slippage. There's nothing we can do. Now we are moving on. Now we are moving on to, let me erase this. Now we are moving on to the last topic, which is liquidity. But liquidity, I've explained it more on the previous session, right? Liquidity, that's where your money comes from. Literally, that's where your money comes from. And I've always said this before. The enemy, your enemy on the market is not me, your mentor. It's not the broker. That is an A-book. It's the liquidity. The guys that you're trying to take money away from. That is your actual enemy, right? Otherwise, I'm not going to waste much time on that one. We are done. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anyone or a couple of people who have testimonials based on using the 1 minute strategy, especially last week where we had CPI, we had GBP and PPI? Can we have testimonials of people who have made money on those events? Now, let me tell you how this is going to assist. I have people who have lost on the same event, and I want someone who can be a testimony that I have started with this much and now I'm here. Therefore, you can make it, you know, because in this market that we're trading, we are relying more on, I failed to make money today, but my neighbor made money. So if I failed to make money and my neighbor made money, how did my neighbor make money? You know, that's what it's all about. You need to understand, because that's gonna assist us a lot more further, and it will definitely help us, you know. So if we have any testimonials of people who made the money on the events previously, 1 minute strategy, raise your hand and I'm going to ask you to unmute your mic, and then once you accept it, then you can speak, because some people lose, and after they lost, they don't understand how did the loss come about. So if they can hear someone who said, I won on the same signal and I've made this much money, it will give them hope that tomorrow they are going to make money. As much as we don't have trades this week, next week we are going to get busy. There's NZD, it's going to be very massive and whatnot. And also we're going to pay attention to barking to ZAR interest rates as well. So we want testimonials of people who have made money, especially on last week's event. So I'm going to be sending the results in the WhatsApp groups as well for inspirational purposes, so that if you lost, you can see that, okay, it's because of the account type that I've used. It's because of this and that. So yeah. I've asked the first person to unmute. Tepiso,
Yeah, coach.
how's that leadership?
I'm good and you.
I am also okay, man. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Last week during CPI, I used mods. I traded gold and USD JPY. Ne?
Okay. Yeah.
1 minute before the event, first account, my friend took 2 buys on gold and 1 sell on USD JPY. The second account, it's me there. I took 2 sells on gold and 1 buy on USD JPY. The other account was blown. The other account, I made money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How much did you make?
I deposited 200 on the other account and 200 on the other account. So I was able to make, I think it was 700 and something. So all in all, profit is 300.
Yeah, no, that is beautiful leadership. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I know someone who has lost on the same event, and them hearing this, they are gonna come back stronger. Which event was that?
CPI.
CPI. Guys,
Yeah.
CPI, the event that he's referring to, is coming back next month on the second week of June. So you've had the testimony. Definitely, you should be able to make money. Thank you so much, leadership.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sharp, sharp. When you have a testimony, you come with the events that you've traded so that the person who has lost on them is able to say, oh, someone has made money, therefore I also can make money. Losses are there. Most of you guys are losing, which is okay, but you don't focus on the negative. You want the positive and understand how did my neighbor win so that I can win tomorrow, right? So if you want me to add you, please raise up your hand, guys. You need to raise up your hand so that I can be able to speak to you. Lifaletu.
Yes, coach.
How's that leadership?
Good, how are you?
Hi, sharp, man.
Sharp, man. So I'll just be brief with my experiences. So I started with NFP this month. My trade didn't get filled because of what you just explained about how what's this lot size, all that stuff.
Yes.
So that one didn't get filled, and then I tried CPI again. I went with a higher leverage this time, but it still didn't get filled. And then I learned that Exness, my broker, they 15 minutes before any event,
they cut the leverage. Yes.
Yes. So then I went to another broker and I traded GBP, was it GBP interest rate and PPI on the same
GBP
day.
interest rate was on Thursday. Yeah, they were both on Thursday. Yes, correct.
So I traded both events. On the first event, I made around 1.2.
From how much deposit?
From 400.
Amen. And then PPI?
And then PPI, I risked lower because I had obviously made profits from the previous one. So I just made about 600 with that one.
Amen. So all in all, your account went to how much? 1 point.
The profit was 1.8, but all in all, it's at 2.2 now.
Amen. And if you were to withdraw, you'd literally take out the 1.8 and go back with 400.
And go back to 400, yes, sir.
Now, I know someone who has lost on PPI, and I know someone who has lost on the GBP. And them hearing that you have tried on NFP and CPI and failed, but you did not give up, and you came to the other side and made money is very powerful leadership. It's very, very powerful. We appreciate your input, and thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I've seen the GBP was not bad. It was not too powerful, about 500, 600 points, 700, I don't remember. And the PPI moved extremely hard before the event. That's what I remember. The PPI moved extremely high before the event. But that was before we even enter. And then when we entered, it started selling. It moved, it bought before and it started selling. And yeah, most of you guys made money, but I always have people who lose no matter what. So I want those who lose to know and understand that, okay, even though I lost, I just need to understand why did I lose. Guys, if you want to speak, you need to raise your hand, not on the comment, but somewhere on the app. You click more. When you're on the app, guys, you click more and there's a raise hand. And then after you have raised your hand, then I'm going to ask you to unmute. And then after you accept the unmute, and then once you accept that, it's going to ask you whether you want to stay muted or unmute. Then once you unmute, therefore, you can be able to speak, right? I hope it makes sense. Let's see, who do we have on the line? People raised hands. I don't know if this thing is not responding to the request or what. Okay, let me try this one. I'm still on Kubului. I think these buttons are not even working.
Coach.
Oh, leadership, Mr. Pilani.
Right, Coach.
Hi, Kishap. How are you?
I'm good, Coach. Coach, it's an honor, Shem. I don't know, like, ever since I've joined FPK, I'm dick riding, what not. But ever since I've joined FPK, yeah, I've been on profits, like, ever since. Yeah, I've made losses then and there, but most profits. Yeah,
thank you so much, leadership.
It's not my real name, Chief. Like, I just want to discuss myself because
yeah, actually, I love that, actually. Also, Coach is not my real name as well, so you're not the only one. Yeah, talk to us.
Coach. No, I didn't have any question or what, so I just want to salute.
All right, thank you so much, leadership. Let's keep on pushing. Thank you so much.
Salute, Chief.
All right, thank you, my king.
Okay, look at something, Coach. Look at something.
Yeah.
Okay, the event next week, Wednesday, CPI. Guys, that event move. I don't know, like it does.
Which one? Which one? Let us.
The GBP CPI, the one after
GBP CPI. Guys, are you listening? Let's have a look on the calendar. Which date exactly?
It's on the 20. It's on Wednesday.
24th of May, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it does move. I even sent you a video code. You should check it.
How many points did it move the last time? If you remember.
Last time I think I've made from 300, I made 900 profits.
Shit. Yeah, that's quite a huge movement.
Yeah,
that's quite a huge movement. All right, no, thanks a lot, leadership. Guys, 24th of May, GBP CPI. We have a testimony of someone who has seen it move. Even if I didn't include it on the schedule, at least we know someone has made money out of it. Thank you so much, leadership, for the information. We really appreciate it. I think we lost him there for a moment, but yeah, you've heard it, guys. GBP next week, the 24th of May. Hello, who's next on the line? Mr. Regai. Your mic is a really low, leadership. I don't know if it's the volume or what. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yes, correct.
Okay, so I wanted to say that on what's it called? I traded the GBP. The GBP was
You are breaking again, leadership.
Yeah, I wanted to say that on when was it? I think this week I traded the GBP GDP news using the 1 minute strategy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I made 1.2 profit from a deposit of 120 rands.
Wait, from 120 rands, you made 1.2.
Yes, I was using the micro account from XM.
Which event is it? So that we can, which event is it exactly?
GBP. It was the GDP.
Which date, if I may ask?
I think it was last week on
Last
11 March. 11 May.
11 May. I'm trying to get it on the calendar here, but my calendar is not going back. But yeah, it's fine. My calendar is not going back. So the event was on the 11th of May. It's GDP GBP. I mean, it's GBP GDP event.
Yeah, and then
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. From 120 to 1.2. I hope you guys are listening. If the event was on the 11th of May, let me just confirm something so that I can give people an idea of when it's gonna come back. The same event is coming back on the 8th of June. Pay attention, guys. GBP GDP, 8th of June. If it's not gonna come on the 8th of June, latest will be the 15th. But normally it's supposed to be the 8th of June because it comes on the second week every Thursday. Every Thursday on the second week of the month. That's basically it's like the second Thursday of the month. So thank you so much, leadership. Thank you so much for the information. They've heard you correctly. From 120 deposit on a micro account to 1.2, which initially more than 1,000 profit. And those are some of the underrated events. Mr. Innocent, how's it?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm okay, leadership. Talk to us.
I just want to say I just deposited 100 rand last time when we had NFP, and then I managed to make a profit of 500. And then when I went to CPI, I managed to make I think 550 from there because I was in and out fast. So within 2 events, I made 1,000 rand, which is it's insane. So I have a small question here. I know you said it's we don't ask questions.
You can ask.
Yeah,
you can ask.
So sure. I just want you to explain like what is zero spread account and can we use it to trade this event?
Oh, zero spread account, it's for indices only. So the liquidity provider has banned us from using currencies because you guys were hitting them. I'm gonna be honest. You guys were hitting them, so they only left them for indices leadership. So on the zero spread account, on CPI, a person would take 10,000 rand to 500,000 because there is no spread at all. Remember, spread besides us making money out of spread, spread is also what the liquidity provider uses to manage their risk. How they manage their risk is to stop you from using lot size 100 on a small account where you're going to do the impossible.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Understand?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, leadership. Let me just take the last one, guys. It's been 2 hours, 30 minutes now. Let me just take the last one. The last one. Okay, where is this one? My thing is okay. I've asked one to unmute. It's still loading. Now the internet is behaving, at least. So I hope the recording was not entirely affected. Mr. Ngoban.
Was it?
I am okay, leadership, was it?
I'm making it one lie. If I joined the PK crew, I'm making money, you know the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you remember asking you to stay in another strategy and this day.
The what? You asked me what?
The strategy for next day. Why don't you have the strategy, bro? Because that's
I explained that on the session, leadership. I've already explained that on the last session that I did.
But you only give us for if usebenzisa ilento ama-signal to ukuthi wenze kahle imali i-broker kumele usethe kanjani. You remember?
Yeah, but remember now, a strategy leadership, it's something that you need to make the third person understand, right? And what's actually happening now with NASDAQ is actually personal experience rather than a strategy. So
Yeah.
I cannot share with you my personal experience.
Yeah.
You have to experience it. Yabo. For example, if you give me a chart, I'm gonna ask you to open it on D1, which is day one time frame, open it on H1, open it on H4, open it on M15, open it on M1. By just me looking at all those different time frames, because of the experience that I have, without using any indicator, without using anything else, I can be able to see and analyze where the market is going. I mean, excluding news. Let's say there are no news. I can be able to see where the market is going. And not that I'm always correct, but at least 8.9 out of 10 chances are I'm always correct. And how do I now teach you that? I can't. Why? Because remember, the difference between me and you guys is that 2016, I used to look at the chart 24 hours. There was no TikTok. There was no Amapiano. There were no women. You know, there were no distractions. I was only focusing on one thing and one thing only. So you guys have lots of things. That's why you know me. You know me because you've always been on social media and the internet. I didn't have access to that. So I always looked at the chart. I've seen the law of NASDAQ for the past 7 years. Even though I wasn't trading it, I've seen the high of NASDAQ for the past 7 years, even though I wasn't trading it. You understand? So for me to just open and analyze the graph, it's like, you know, it's like having sex nowadays. It's the easiest thing when you have money, leadership. You don't even need to speak for it. You just take out money, you get whatever that you want. It's like having a friend. You don't need to ask for friendship. Just be rich. Everyone would want to be your friend. You understand? But if I get to have a moment whereby I'm able to find a way to teach you the NASDAQ strategy, I'm going to do so. But for now, I'm still having it tough because it's my personal experience leadership.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
my
but
last question
otherwise keep on making money, my king. We are all following, we are all inspired.
Thank you, my king. So my last question, it
Yeah.
was that forex you are using for your only source of income, or you are having a lot of source of income on that time?
Okay, you mean back in the days?
Yes.
Back in the days, leadership, forex was the only source of income, and from 2016,
Yes.
I only made 100,000.
Yes.
2017, 18, I've made a couple of millions. Unfortunately, because this is going to be public, I cannot state how much. But
Yes.
2019, after the reality show, I went broke, right? That was prior to COVID. I completely went broke. And from 2020, that's when I started venturing into various businesses. So besides the brokerage side of things, besides trading now, I have other businesses that bring quite a stable amount of income leadership. I think what was happening to me back in those years was what we call new money. You know, when you have new
Oh yeah. I hear you, my king. I appreciate you, my king.
you're forced to sell them and balance everything out, you see. So to answer you, back in the days I didn't have, but now I do have. Even if I stop trading, the broker stops working, FBK Online Services stops working, I think I should make pretty much good 500,000 to 1 million a month with what I have besides trading. So when you make money and you think you're stable enough, find other businesses to invest in. And some of the businesses don't even need social media. That is why people don't know about them. You know, I mean,
Yes.
I cannot speak about them on this session, but I do have leadership.
Okay. Hi, my king.
Yeah.
I hear you. I appreciate you very much, bro.
No, thank you so much, Mikey.
Thank you.
All right, sharp. Guys, now I'm tired. There's still over 200 of you guys watching, and it's 2:30 a.m. The people who left, they're witches. Remember, witches, they have to fly at night. So we were beating them with time. Now time to fly has arrived. So they had to leave us and go fly, because they start flying around. What time do they start flying? They start flying around. Assist me, guys. What time do these guys start flying? I'm sure someone on the comments does have an idea of what time they need to start flying. So they had to start flying around 12, 1. They fly. Oh, one is saying around past 1. This one has experience, I'm sure. He was one of the people who was flying before joining FBK. Amen to that leadership for changing. They are going to knock off around 3:30. So now that we are on this session, they can see that we are not sleeping. At least, nice thing about today is that they are not going to bewitch us, which is one of the reasons why I don't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night, guys. It's because I know witches fly at night. They want you at night. So that is why I am not sleeping at night, you know. Otherwise, besides that, thank you so much for taking your time in joining this. I'm not going to be much active. The messages that you're going to be sending, whatsoever, I appreciate them in terms of the birthday, but I'm just going to be offline a lot today. Don't think that I'm going through depression. No, I'm doing what we call self-introspection. 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 Hanking yon ang self-inst instro self-instro. Guys, I was killing English from start to finish. I only fuck up at the end. Self-introspection. Yes, I'll be doing self-introspection. Yeah, today it's gonna be about that. I'm gonna be doing inspection. Let me just say inspection. I'll be doing inspection, and thank you so much. I will send a copy of the recording in the WhatsApp groups as soon as it's available. I'm not sure when is it gonna be available. As soon as it's available, I'm gonna send a copy. It's gonna be uploaded on YouTube. You can watch it anytime. And otherwise, God bless you. This week we don't have anything. Next week is gonna be hectic. NZD 4 a.m. in the morning. Please trade it. It's gonna be very massive. That other week, there's a couple of interest rates. That other week, it's NFP. The GDP that my brother mentioned coming back. The CPI that one of my brothers also mentioned is also coming back. You know, these events are gonna come back. Literally, we are gonna be okay. And guys, when you lose a trade, you are not the only one. Try to find better ways with how to deal with the situation rather than attacking us as mentors. Because I mean, we are in this together. We are on your side, guys. We wouldn't want you to deliberately lose. Otherwise, I love you so much across all FBK channels. Even though the mentoring session was meant for FBK online services, people only, but I'm gonna make it freely available for anyone who might find this information useful in the next 3 months, 3 years, whatsoever. Otherwise, let me love and leave you in peace. God bless you guys. Thank you guys. And thank you. Bye-bye.